with Lauren Stallone.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. A London man who was tragically injured in a hit-and-run incident that left him with traumatic brain injuries has passed away. Tristan Roby died on Saturday, and cremation and a funeral service have already taken place. His mother tells CTV News he succumbed to injuries from the accident, but he remains strong and an inspiration, saying it was his time and he is at peace. The family says anyone wishing to make a donation should consider Dale Brain Injury Services. One person has died following a crash last night near Stratford. Emergency crews were called to Perth Line 32 and Road 125 just before midnight for a two-vehicle collision. Police say the driver of a pickup truck passed away and the other driver was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A passenger suffered minor injuries. Police continue to investigate. A 29-year-old London man pled guilty today in connection with a multi-million-dollar drug and gun seizure. Nicholas Travis pled guilty to a total of 6 charges via Zoom from Collins Bay Institution. In November of 2024, a shooting incident at a home on Simcoe Street led London police to a North End apartment on Jacks Way Crescent, where they found $2.4 million worth of fentanyl and a number of firearms, plus $37,000 in cash. In court, Travis pled to trafficking and possessing prohibited firearms. He is expected to be sentenced on May 1st. The provincial government has announced sweeping changes to support post-secondary institutions as they continue to face financial challenges. Billions in new funding has been announced, as well as an end to the 7-year tuition freeze. CTV's Siobhan Morris reports.
An unfreezing of tuitions on campuses like this one, just one part of an overhaul of the cash flowing into a sector in a state of crisis.
If we want Ontario to have a competitive workforce tomorrow, we need to strengthen our post-secondary institutions today.
Colleges and universities had been leaning on higher international student tuitions. That pipeline has gone dry with federal visa changes. Ontario's pumping $6.4 billion more into the sector over 4 years.
Skilled workers are needed more than ever, and this funding expands regional opportunities for learners and employers alike.
Starting this fall, schools will be able to increase tuition by up to 2%.
The money I make is just during the summer. It's only 4 months of work to make what tuition and housing in Toronto is already so expensive, so that's definitely an expense I don't think I could afford.
I think it would be difficult for my family to afford personally, and I think it would be difficult for a lot of families to afford.
The government calculates higher tuition will cost the average college student an extra $66 a year. For university, $170 more. There's a dramatic cut coming to grants through the Ontario Student Assistance Program, OSAP, leaning more heavily on loans than grants.
It's a lot worse, you know. I mean, the OSAP right now, the grants are already reduced. So if they reduce it more, that increases how much we have to pay back after we graduate.
The minister in charge says the system has become unsustainable. Schools are doing what they can to maintain access.
Every year, we increase the amount of funding we put into our student aid system because we're committed to that.
The changes a relief to a sector that slashed thousands of jobs, eliminated programs.
We are facing huge pressures in our system, but this announcement tackles the real challenges that universities face that will support our students.
Critics say schools shouldn't have had to beg the government for this help.
They set the fire and then they arrive, I won't say with a garden hose, but not what they need to put out the fire.
And there is a word of warning.
There are still more efficiencies that need to be found across the whole sector.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Locally, there is mixed reaction to the funding change for colleges and universities. Both Fanshawe and Western are in favor, while students are not happy about having to dig deeper for the privilege of higher education. CTV's Brian Bicknell has more.
The news hit the Western University campus like a hard lesson in family economics.
That's kind of disappointing to hear because it's already like we do pay like absurd amounts to be here already.
This new change is going to cause a lot of issues with a lot of students who can't afford to go to university.
So I know for me, I have the privilege of coming to Western, but for a lot of my friends, they are still stuck at home, really using that OSAP.
Colleges and universities can now raise fees by up to 2% per year for the next 3 years. After that, increases will be capped at 2% or inflation, whichever is lower. Further, the government is decreasing the proportion of student grants and will rely more heavily on loans.
They can expect not only to pay more for their post-secondary education, but they're going to have to fund it on debt and look at graduating with higher levels of student debt.
The government also announced it's investing an additional $6.4 billion in colleges and universities over 4 years. Western University President Alan Shepard issued a statement saying Western and peer universities do so much through students, researchers, partnerships with communities and industries, strengthening economy, improving healthcare, protecting environment, making an impact. With these new investments, we'll be primed to do even more. The union representing faculty at Western hopes the funding leads to stability.
We were experiencing death by 1,000 cuts in terms of staff losses and faculty contracts not being renewed and so on. And so seeing that the Ontario government is willing to invest more is a positive sign.
Fanshawe College issued a statement saying it's encouraged by the investment. We're reviewing details to better understand its impact. The investment recognizes how integral our students, grads, and programs are for the strength of Ontario's economy. Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
A London hockey team has been disbanded after reports that videos of players naked in the dressing room appeared on social media. CTV's Jerry Dewan has more.
The president of Alliance Hockey has confirmed that a U15 team with the West London Minor Hockey Association has been disbanded. Larry Moreland says the team was dissolved after reports emerged indicating videos of naked players were taken in dressing room showers. Those reports allege the videos were posted on the social media platform Snapchat. The team plays out of the StarTech Community Center, but there's no word if that is where the alleged incident happened. 2 players were suspended and 3 coaches were handed an indefinite suspension pending a disciplinary hearing. West London Association President Tate Williamson posted on Facebook late Thursday afternoon saying they wouldn't comment further because the incident involves minors. The 2 suspended players will be subject to Hockey Canada's independent third-party process. In a statement, Hockey Canada Chief of Staff Jeremy Knight said the ITP does not investigate or adjudicate complaints, but it ensures that complaints are processed in a confidential, neutral, and procedurally fair manner. It continued, when a complaint has been accepted by the ITP, the Hockey Canada maltreatment complaint management policy enables the ITP to impose interim sanctions if deemed necessary. London Police also issued a statement saying the London Police Service is aware of a post circulating on social media involving a local boys hockey team. As the post relates to an ongoing investigation, there's no further information appropriate for release at this time. Moreland also noted that Hockey Canada has what is called the Rule of 2 policy, which stipulates that 2 screened adults must monitor the room or be immediately outside a propped open door. Hockey Canada policy also stipulates that no cell phones or cameras are allowed in dressing rooms. Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
Patients battling aggressive forms of blood cancer and some other conditions now have additional access to stem cell transplants at home. CTV's Sean Irvin explains who will benefit.
2 years ago, Jackie Van Altina would have never imagined that she'd be confined to a hospital battling a life-threatening condition. The world traveler was in New Zealand after a 10-year career in the Royal Canadian Navy when she began to feel unwell.
I was tired all the time. I couldn't breathe. I could barely go up a flight of stairs. Started coughing up blood.
It did not take doctors in New Zealand long to diagnose the problem.
They kind of put me in a room and said, you know, we have a diagnosis of leukemia.
Jackie quickly returned to Canada, where doctors began a treatment regimen. Once specialists determined her cancer could not be brought under control with traditional treatments, she was referred to the blood and marrow transplant program at LHSC. Sadly, her immediate family was not a match. Until this past summer, that would have meant Jackie would need to head out of town for treatment if an unrelated donor match could not be found.
So previously, we would have about 15 to 20 patients every year going to Princess Margaret Hospital in Toronto to receive a stem cell transplant.
But Jackie received good news twice. Not only was the unrelated donor match located, but she was also given the chance to be the first to receive treatment in London. The innovation has opened the door for more patients battling life-threatening and life-altering conditions.
Cancers like leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, as well as some people who have inherited blood disorders or marrow failure disorders, such as severe aplastic anemia. Those patients would also need a donor transplant.
The ability to treat people in London enhances patient care. Until now, 15 to 20 patients a year have been forced to leave loved ones as they fought.
They do suffer from some mental health issues, financial issues, because they have to relocate to a different city, which sometimes can become very, very demanding for them as well.
Depending on individual cases, long-term survival rates for blood and marrow stem cell transplants are between 60 and 70%. Jackie believes she is among the fortunate as she continues to regain strength.
I never once doubted that I was going to get past this.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
The second annual London Police Chiefs Gala Appreciation Dinner and Awards Night took place tonight, celebrating policing in our community.
We're going to celebrate our great members, our great men and women of the London Police Service, some excellent awards, and then we get to celebrate with the community, raise money for two incredible causes, three actually. We're doing Bethany's Hope, Victim Services, Middlesex London, and Special Olympics. So it's just a great, great night.
All proceeds go towards the Bethany Hope Foundation and Victim Services of Middlesex London. The event, emceed by CTV's Rita Ismail, featured guest speakers, entertainment, and a presentation of awards. Thousands of people showed their support, including police officials from across the region and Premier Doug Ford.
It's great to be here and support many causes in London, and especially Victim Services as well. And I'm just so proud of how Chief Trong has led the service and the community.
Coming up, it was a big day for Team Canada at the Winter Olympics, the latest from Milan. North American markets plunged today based on losses in the basic materials and technology sectors. In Toronto, the TSX lost 789 points, and in New York, the Dow dropped 669, and the Nasdaq fell 469. The Canadian dollar is down 0.17 of a cent, and on commodity markets, gold dropped $150 an ounce, and oil lost $1.79 a barrel. A symbolic victory for Canada now that U.S. lawmakers have backed a resolution to end Donald Trump's so-called fentanyl tariffs on Canada. Now, while that won't make the tariffs go away, CTV's Rachel Aiello reports there still may be a silver lining for Canada.
The joint resolution is passed.
By a vote of 219 to 211, the U.S. House passed a resolution to repeal President Donald Trump's so-called fentanyl tariffs levied last year, citing border security. These 6 House Republicans breaking ranks to join the Democrats in backing the move.
This is the right vote for my district. These tariffs are hurting them, and again, that certainly weighed in my vote on this.
Well, I've got to represent my district, and Canada and the state of Washington have a very close trading relationship. It's valuable.
And while largely symbolic, it's a sign some Republican support for Trump's use of emergency powers is slipping.
I think it's an early indication that over the course of the next 6 months, we're going to see a little more month-by-month erosion in the support for the president among the Republican caucus, both in the House and the Senate.
Defending his trade agenda, Trump said any Republican in the House or the Senate that votes against tariffs will seriously suffer the consequences.
I'm disappointed in the vote, but the president has veto power.
The resolution now goes to the Senate, but without the 2/3 majority needed to override Trump's expected veto, the tariff policy won't change.
So it's a good
step, but it's a small step.
Still, experts say it positions Canada better heading into the CUSMA review.
I think it actually gives Canada a little bit of additional negotiating power, right? But it just highlights to the president and to the U.S. administration that Canada has allies here.
The U.S. Supreme Court is separately weighing whether Trump can continue to use these emergency tariff powers. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
8 people have been killed and 25 injured at the shootings at a school and home in a rural community in British Columbia. With more on the strength of the community, here's Andrew Johnson.
Fresh tears near Tumbler Ridge Secondary School, where there is a steady stream of mourners determined to pay their respects, including BC Premier David Eby, who arrived in town last night, and Rick Patterson, who's lived here since 1983 and is one of the many trying to navigate their grief.
I think it's just a day-by-day and moment-by-moment thing.
For Patterson, the hardest part is feeling like the community failed its most vulnerable.
There was no protection there for them. They thought they were in a safe place, and I thought they were in a safe place.
Once a safe place, Tumbler Ridge Secondary is now the scene of a murder investigation. Police say the suspect, 18-year-old Jesse Van Rootselaar, murdered one teacher, 39-year-old Shanda Eviguana Durand, and 5 students there, and injured 27 others before turning the gun on herself. Among the victims, 13-year-old Ezekiel Schofield, 12-year-old Abol Mwansa, whose family online called him a brave kid with a bright future. 12-year-old Zoe Benoit is being remembered as a resilient, vibrant, and caring little girl. Also among those killed, 12-year-old Tikara Lampert, who friends say was a loving, courageous, and humorous girl who leaves behind 7 siblings. Their classmate, 12-year-old Kylie Smith, who was the light of her family's life, was also killed at the school.
I let her off. I let her go to school with her brother Ethan in the morning, and I soaked in that moment watching them walk in the door together for whatever reason, and I didn't know it would be the last time they'd go to school together.
Police say before going to the school, Van Rootselaar killed her 39-year-old mother, Jennifer Jacobs, and 11-year-old stepbrother, Emmett Jacobs, at their family home. Community members say the love from Canadians across the country is helping them feel less alone during these dark days.
I love this place, I love this town, and now I love Canada even more because of what you have given to us.
She is not the only person we've heard that from. In the town, people tell us has long been known as The Rock. A great description today for the strength of this community. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Tumbler Ridge, BC.
Good evening. The cloud cover breaking up overnight and the flurries winding down. They've been persistent in Huron County, and we've had some light flurries in London. Waking up tomorrow morning, though, to a bit of sunshine. Temperature in the morning, cold. Heading out the door, we'll be dealing with wind chills close to a -20. Thanks, Brenda Bricker from Godrich, for sending this photo in. Brenda is a loyal CTV London viewer, and these are her pups. This is Gigi. She's a Springer Spaniel. And Hazel May. She's a Nova Scotia Duck Terrier puppy. If you're heading out for a walk in the morning, light winds, although you'll need to be dressed for it. Looks like your pups are ready to go. Stay with us. Your local forecast is coming up right after this.
Julie Atchison joins me on the desk now. Julie, I told you earlier that I want to try and get outside this weekend, maybe some tubing, things like that. What are we looking at for those conditions?
Well, in terms of tubing conditions or perhaps ski conditions, the snow is going to get a little bit soft because we are expecting temperatures to warm up. So that means skiing won't be as fast. So perhaps if you're new to the sport, it might be a great weekend to get outside because you won't need to be bundled from head to toe with daytime highs this weekend climbing between 3 to 5 degrees. So great weather, Lauren, to get out and do some tubing. -4 our high, -7 our low. Temperatures today close to where we should be. It is cold out there tonight. Wowzers. With wind chills, it'll feel close to a -20. But the good news is we're going to bust our way out of the cold as we head into your Friday, and the daytime high coming close to the freezing mark by Friday afternoon. And we have a little bit of sunshine as well to get us there. As we head to parts of Midwestern Ontario, a bit more in the way of cloud cover, and we have a little wave coming in Friday evening. Now today we had off-lake cloud and flurries, and they were persistent at times, especially through Huron County and London, Middlesex. So snow showers expected, wind down overnight. Wind shift to the southwest tomorrow. But this little wave to the north is going to arrive in the Bruce Peninsula heading into the afternoon and make its way through Grey and Bruce County. It'll also drift by east of London. So anywhere from about just outside of Toronto, east, they'll pick up some snowfall, but west of that, through Oxford County, London, not expecting anything as we head into Friday afternoon. We will pick up a little cloud cover from that, and then Friday night, a slight probability, although it's very low at just 30%. Friday looks great, friends. A nice mix of sun and cloud to mainly sunny in early part of the day, and then a bit more cloud cover as we head into Friday evening. -1 the high, +3 Saturday, Sunday, and holiday Monday. If you are planning to do some outdoor things with friends, family, or you're just going to head out for a nice solo walk, 3 to 5 degrees over the weekend. +6 on Tuesday, mainly cloudy with some breaks, and we have rain in the forecast Wednesday, and a rain-snow mix on Thursday. Now, I know many of you tend to hunker down this time of year. It's difficult to get out when it's so cold. I bet you could use some sunshine, so perhaps get out this weekend if you can and enjoy a nice mix of sun and cloud Saturday, Sunday into holiday Monday. Conditions are looking beautiful for the weekend, so if you have been putting off some travel to see perhaps a friend, maybe this is the weekend to do it. Daytime highs 2 to 5 degrees. The melt will be on for sure. 6 degrees on Tuesday and overcast, and then a rain-snow mix. Heading into Wednesday, possibility of periods of rain Wednesday, so keeping an eye on that next weather system. So heading into tomorrow, Lauren, conditions looking quite pleasant across our region with a mix of sun and cloud. We won't get into the cloud cover in Midwestern Ontario till the afternoon, and the weekend is shaping up to be great. Nice conditions across the region right through the weekend.
Thanks, Julie. It's been a great snowmobile season across Ontario, but that also means more fatalities than last year on the trails. Scott Miller has more on Snowmobile Safety Week.
There is no question, this has been one of the longest and best snowmobiling seasons in the past decade.
As we sit today, we have over 28,000 kilometers of trail available from all corners of the province. It's one of those seasons that is a little bit of a throwback to winters of old in Ontario.
It's currently Snowmobile Safety Week in Ontario, a midwinter reminder about how to hit the trails and come home safe. 9 snowmobilers didn't make it home this winter, killed while driving their sleds. The most recent, the death of a 19-year-old on a trail near Milverton.
Speed is usually a major factor on our collisions and injuries and deaths. So 50 kilometers an hour is the kind of the standard speed limit. And I know that people do exceed that limit. But when you do that, it actually puts you and others on the trail in a dangerous situation.
Solden was out patrolling Huron County's snowmobile trails on Wednesday. He says of the 20 riders he stopped, everyone was riding safely. He recommends riders ensure they've got a solid helmet, proper insurance, a charged cell phone, and a full tank of gas before hitting the trails. Limiting speed and staying on the marked trails will increase your chances of avoiding a crash, he says.
Safety is a shared responsibility, that we're all out there on the trails looking to have an enjoyable day. And that if we all keep to the right side of the trail, if we drive the proper speed, and if we respect our landowners and our volunteers, we're going to have a great day.
And please make sure you're playing by the rules, and we'll likely see on the trail. We've got a very robust schedule for snowmobile patrol across the province, and I myself will be out again on Sunday, so you might bump into me if you're out there.
Ontario's Snowmobile Safety Week runs from February 9th to the 16th. In Huron County, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Tonight's Slopes Report is brought to you by Buller Mountain. Love is in the air and on the slopes as we kick off Valentine's Day and the Family Day long weekend. Buller Mountain picked up 4 centimeters of fresh snow. All 15 runs are open. 4 out of 4 lifts are turning, and machine groom conditions are in great shape with a 40-centimeter base. A perfect local date idea or family outing. Blue Mountain picked up 2 centimeters of snow overnight. 40 of 43 runs open, and conditions are machine groomed. Horseshoe Resort saw 1 centimeter of fresh snow. All 28 runs are open with machine groomed and powder conditions. For our cross-country skiers, Circle R Ranch picked up 3 centimeters of new snow. All 14 kilometers are track set open with softer, refreshed snow through the weekend. Snowshoe trails are packed and ready too. At the Pinery, no new snow reported, but 14 kilometers of trails are available to ski. The weather looks amazing this weekend, mild and above normal. It's a beautiful weekend to hit the snow.
CTV News London has a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local headlines. By signing up, you'll get local news content from CTV London direct to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewslondon.ca.
It was a big day for Team Canada at the Winter Olympics as our medal count had a growth spurt. NHL stars playing for Canada were also back on Olympic ice for the first time in 12 years. CTV's Scott Thurs reports.
A big day in short track speed skating. Courtney Sereau won bronze in the women's 500-meter. This is her second medal of the Games. Sereau was part of the team that won silver in the mixed relay earlier in the week. 4 Olympic Games, 4 medals for a Canadian athlete known as the King.
Very happy to win my 4th medal and 4 starts at the Olympic Games.
Opening ceremony flag bearer Mikhail Kingsbury landed back on the podium in Milano Cortina, a silver medal for the decorated Olympian. He finished with an identical score as the gold medalist, but lost the top spot through a tiebreaker.
This one I worked really hard for, and it was a tough one to get.
We will see Kingsbury again in the dual moguls event this weekend. Canada is celebrating another silver on the slopes, this time in snowboard cross. 24-year-old Elliot Grandin from Quebec also missing out on gold by the slimmest of margins.
Pretty good. I mean, it's another silver medal, so you can't really be too upset.
This is his 3rd Olympic medal and will have a chance to add to his personal total in the mixed snowboard cross team event on Sunday. On to the quarterfinals for the Canadian women's hockey team. The women beat Finland today 5-0 to close out their preliminary round with a record of 3-1. On the men's side, it was a relatively easy start to their Olympic program. The Canadian men won their opening match against Czechia 5-0. This is the first time we're seeing NHL players at the Olympic Games since Sochi 2014. The women's hockey team will begin the knockout round on Saturday. They'll face Germany in the quarterfinals. The men will be back on the ice tomorrow against Switzerland. Scott Thurs, CTV News, Toronto.
That's our time tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Lauren Stallone. Have a good night.